Hi, it's Tina Brinkley Potts again, and today we will be talking about interactive campaigns that help you bring your clients online so they can help you get more clients. And we're going to start with Greg and do the introductions today. Greg, you can go first.
Hi, I'm Greg Adams. We're your local mobile advisor, and we help local businesses get found online through mostly mobile marketing, because everybody knows where it's going mobile these days, and also through social media and other online services.
Okay, Drew, you're next to Greg.
Sure. Okay. My name is Drew Griffin. I am an appreneur, founder of a company called Mobile Apps Labs. Basically, we focus pretty much on mobile marketing and creating mobile apps for iPhones, Android devices, and BlackBerries. We help others learn how to do that as well. And that's basically our deal.
Chris, last but not least.
All right, I'm Chris Berggren of Local Links Marketing. We use mobile, social, and local media, local online media, to help local businesses engage with their customers and grow their businesses. Our motto is basically link, engage, and grow. And we like to help the mom and pops and the a little bit larger businesses too, but link with their customers in an online sort of fashion using mobile, local, and social media.
Absolutely. So, let's jump right into it. So let's talk about why it's important to engage with your client base online. Who wants to start first? Ooh, no takers? Oh, no. So
we're all jumping right in there.
Well, I guess I can start on that one. I have a lot of mom and pop clients who, for whatever reason, didn't start with the online marketing. Most of the time, because I am a business consultant, I can be in their business for other reasons. Like, for instance, I just helped someone get licensed in the state of Delaware for home health and things like that. So I could be in there doing other things, and then I find typically that they really haven't begin to build their online presence other than having the typical brochure website. And what I begin to tell them is I tell them that the main reasons why they should be online. And I think, Greg, you started, one of the main reasons is that everybody has a smartphone. So if you're not being found on that smartphone when someone is looking, even in the home health industry, let's say like in Delaware, there's a huge senior population, but their children tend to live in other states. So let's say it's a busy professional. They're looking to help mom out around the house. More than less likely, they're not jumping on their computer. They're jumping right on their phone, opening Safari or whatever internet browser, and they're looking home health, let's say Wilmington, Delaware. And if you're not coming up, you're not the person that they're calling. So that's the main reason why I would say that a lot of these mom and pops need to understand that if they're not being found online, they're missing a huge opportunity to gain business.
Exactly.
So let's look at interactive campaigns. Have any of you guys done anything specifically that you're creating interaction for your clients?
Yeah, I'll jump in on that one. One of the primary things that I like to do with some of the clients when I was more focused on helping them get a little bit more attention online on the social media aspect of our business and try to get them a little bit more attention on various platforms, whether it be Facebook or Twitter or anything like that, is really to talk to them in advance about their goals and their strategies and how they're going to interact once people are there. Some of the strategies that they can employ to get those connections other than giving people their Facebook address for their page or for their group or something like that is we do something that's this is kind of a guerrilla marketing technique almost, is in some of the groups that we focus with, some of the groups that are actually doing public speaking, they're actually doing sessions about whatever their industry is at trade shows and things of that nature, is a way to do lead capture through mobile marketing, and not so much mobile marketing, but a traditional way is I'll just give you an example. One of our clients is a medical company, and they do a lot of different education for their constituents, whether they're nurses or physicians or things of that nature. And what we do is we don't take anybody for granted. We don't assume that everybody is on a mobile device, but we kind of do a double tier approach. One of the things that we do is we bribe them, do an ethical bribe by handing out candy. And in return for that candy, we ask them to give us their business card. The contact information, typically on a business card, they have an email address or something like that. It's a little bit cumbersome, but for those that don't really get the technology side, and they don't realize to connect with people directly on these platforms like Facebook and Twitter, what this does is gives us an opportunity for a community manager, whether it be my firm or somebody that they have within the organization, to actually manually go in there and send invitations to these people through their Facebook or through their email accounts and things of that nature. Mm-hmm. It's kind of a hard technique, but at least they get a stack of business cards. There's something to do with it. Some of the newer apps that are out there for those of us that use Instant Customer or some of the other ones that are out there, you can actually scan these business cards and an automatic autoresponder follows up with this. And what that really is it's an application that resides on one of these mobile devices. It actually physically scans a digital copy of the business card. A human server resides behind the application, and they actually read the card, they input that data, they input that information into a spreadsheet, send out these emails to people, and inside that email is a way to invite them back to, the online version of, communication. And from there, it's pretty much sky's the limit. You can send stories, send videos, do pretty much anything that you want. But that's one technique that can, pretty much mirror anything that's out there, whether it be a QR code, it be brochures that are out there that, traditional marketing type things, paper trail type things, postcards that are being sent out. You're inviting them to come back online and connect with your brand or your business that way.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, I think one of the ones that, like any speaker right now, should not be leaving their audience without giving them something so they can get them in their list. You're only as good as your list, or you're always going to be chasing clients if you aren't interacting with the list. So I know that is like one of the important things that, like, I have a couple authors and we talk about that all the time. I mean, because they spend their day networking. And, if you want to get the best bang for your buck when you're going to all of these networking events, you have to have a way of connecting after the networking event is over. How many times have you guys went to a networking event and you come back with that great big stack of business cards and they do nothing but sit in a pile on your desk?
Yeah.
That's right, all the time. Well, I did in the past, not anymore, though.
Well, yeah, I mean, we know better now, right? We all know better now, but it just seems to, that's one of the biggest reasons for lost business is lack of follow-up. And what is the touches rule now? Is it 7? I think it was up to 10, that sometimes it takes 10 touches now to get someone to move.
Right. Well,
so
what I was going to say is for a local
times, that means you've given up too quickly, right?
Yes.
Right.
I tell you what's really helped me when I first started in this business, and I just got off the phone with a client this morning trying to get him to understand what he needed to do. He has a dryer vent business. Actually, he has a whole appliance repair business, and he just wants to do the dryer vents. It's that profitable for him. And I was trying to explain to him, just do some videos. That's really was my success. And what I'm talking about, that's not some $5,000-$10,000 production that you have to go to a production studio, but literally something like what I have right here, this little ZI-8 right here. This little ZI-8 here has made me thousands and thousands of dollars. And what I mean by that is just shooting a little 10 frequently asked questions. I come from my original business was a water treatment business. I had it for 20 years. And I got videos out there as how to change a reverse osmosis filter. And I did that March of 2000. The last one I did was March of 2010. I still get 3 to 5 calls a week off those videos. Video sell. They want to see the person. They want to see you. So what I suggest to everybody has a story. And every business owner that comes in there, that goes in the store, people ask them the same questions every day. So stop and think about, if you own a flower shop or if you own any type of business, an auto repair, what are the most frequently asked questions that people ask? And just get you a little cheap camera like this, less than a couple $100. I think you get one for maybe $100 now or something similar to it, and just shoot those little videos, put it out there on your YouTube channel, and people will find it, and just have a little, what we call a CTA or call to action at the end of it, and that's just simply saying how do they get a hold of you. So basically the video is what do you have, giving your advice, and then how they can get a hold of you. And it's really just that simple. And people think, well, sometimes you may think, well, I'm giving away my service. No, 9 times out of the people in my videos, I explain exactly how to do it themselves. But 9.5 out of 10, they call me and say, can you come do it for me? Because it's a know, like, and trust. They see that you know what you're talking about. They're not just reading some text. And let's face it, people are lazy nowadays.
Devil's advocate, Greg. I want to ask you,
okay, go ahead.
What would you say to someone who is camera shy? Because, I think that's the biggest fear, is that they don't want to put that camera in their face. And, some people that are in our industry say, well, just shoot, PowerPoints or whatever. I believe you need to get on camera, or you need to have someone on camera. But I want to ask you what you think.
Well, I was terrified, and I'm still, not the prettiest face on camera. And you watch some of my videos, and I've had customers say, "Oh, you're so natural." It took me a while to do it, but all I can say is just do it. Don't think about it. Be yourself, and just act like you're talking to your best friend. Picture that your best friend is standing right across from you, and you're just talking to them like you would normally talk to anybody else, and forget that the camera's even on. It doesn't have to be the best lighting. Like I said, some of my videos I shot right there in my kitchen, at the kitchen sink, with my little ZI-8 camera, and they came out excellent. And people want to see real. But to answer your question, Tina, you just have to get over it and just do it. Just bite the bullet and do it, because they don't want some polished Hollywood person. They want to see the real person they're dealing with, and people appreciate that. And I've been out to many people's houses. They go, "Wow, you're the guy on YouTube." And I'm like, "Yeah, that was me." And you become an instant celebrity there. But we think about it. Let's stop and think about it. And let's be a consumer for a minute. Why do we go to Google? We are looking for a service, right?
Yeah.
We are looking for some help. We're looking for something specific, so why not put your face out there and let them meet you, let them see you, see your personality, who you are, and when they make that connection, when they call you, you've already got that know, like, and trust there. You're already over the big hurdle. Now it's just up to you to, offer them good service and close them, but you've overcome a lot of the hurdles that you normally would have to do. And then, of course, with that, with the video really ranks really high on YouTube, is owned by Google, and who loves Google more than Google? Google does. And so if you're doing the searches, your videos come up rank up high, and I'm sure everybody else like me. If I see a video, if I'm reading text and I see a video, I'm going to click on the video. So that would be my suggestion to really get a small business off the ground and get them in front of people.
So you guys want to jump in and talk a little bit about video and YouTube channels and all of that?
Yeah, Tina, let me jump in right here. I just want to echo what Greg said. The video really does enhance what I call the KLT factor, the know, like, and trust factor. The simple fact is that if people are seeing your face on the video, no matter how well done or whatever you perceive it to be, less than perfect, they're going to see you as a real person. They're going to get to know you in one way or another. They're going to sense some bit of your personality. Some people inject a lot of humor because that's who they are. And that's just fine. It does not have to be this totally serious, so-called professional video. In fact, I think most people would say that it's better if it's not. Because, again, you're seen as a real person just like them, not someone who went out and spent thousands of dollars to create something to sell them. You're not selling them, you're giving them information that they're looking for. And suddenly that places you in a position of power without, I guess without it being seen as such. They don't see you trying to place yourself in that position. When you do a YouTube video, or any video, you don't have to just rely on the Google traffic. Although it's a great way to get traffic, like Greg said, Google does love Google, so they love YouTube, and they do get ranked real highly without immense effort. To get a website ranked at the top of Google takes a tremendous amount of effort. To get a YouTube video ranked with a little bit of knowledge is not terribly difficult. So, at least in our local niches. Anyway, if you are trying to bring your customers online, this video is an awesome way. Let's just combine something that Drew said too. Using media that people are already used to. People are used to the print media. A business card falls into that category. But if you're a business, let's just say an auto repair shop, and you create some print media, let's say posters that you have up in your shop in the waiting room. Maybe you have some little side tables, so you print a couple table tent types of things, inviting people to engage with you in an online way. Maybe you're inviting them to text their name and get some coupon back. Again, giving them an ethical bribe. Enticing them to get on your list. When they get the thank you message, send them a thank you, and here's a video you might enjoy or something that might be useful or helpful to you. And now right away you are engaging with them. You're not just sending them back, say, just a coupon, but they're going to interact with you in some way. A video feels interactive to people when your face is on there and you're talking to them. Especially, I know, like right now, the way my webcam is situated, my eyes, I look at you on my computer screen and my eyes are not exactly on my webcam. But when you're doing the video and looking at your camera, you are going to be looking right at your audience, and they feel you talking to them. So there's just a little tip on making videos. Look right into your camera. And like Greg said, talk to them like you're talking to your best friend, your husband, your wife, your best buddy. And just relax. It doesn't have to be perfect. So that's my little tip.
They're not perfect.
No.
Take the print media, invite people online, and then give them a video so that they can engage with you that way.
And offer them a KLT sandwich. No, it's all right. I was just offer them a KLT sandwich with mayo and toast.
Yeah, lettuce and tomato too.
Absolutely. I think the most important thing that I could say to someone who isn't using video, and it is because they have some kind of fear or don't want their face on camera or something like that. And, I say you have to push past being uncomfortable. We stay in our comfort zone way too much, and our comfort zone has got us exactly where we are. Now, if your comfort zone has gotten you to exactly where you want to be in life, you've met every goal, then keep doing what you're doing. But if it hasn't, then you have to push past it, because it really is just your own brain playing tricks on you. I can tell you I have videos that have had bad lighting. I remember right around the end of the year, I sent a video to all my clients, kind of recapping, what we did, the amount of revenue we did combined and all that kind of stuff. And I had this unbelievable piece of hair that was like stuck to my lipstick, and it wouldn't come off. So I was literally spitting in the video and everything, just trying to get this thing off. And I was about to reshoot it, right? But I was like, why should I reshoot it? My clients know me. I don't need to put on any kind of false advertising. They know me. So I sent the video out, and everybody was just laughing because I was literally just kept pulling at the thing, and it wouldn't go away. But I've had some horribly bad videos. So, let's talk a little bit about, I think, Greg, when you said about the frequently asked questions, that can work in pretty much any industry, right, you guys? I think my first one that I did that for was a actual geothermal heating and air guy. Mm-hmm. Can you imagine? I knew absolutely nothing about that. I know a lot now, but I knew absolutely nothing about it. But when the economy slowed and, people weren't buying as many houses, that meant you started concentrating on what you already have and maybe remodeling and all of that kind of thing. And, there was a tax credit that was happening if you bought this system or whatever, and literally we just started talking about those things. That guy's phone rang off the hook. I mean, one sale paid for my services. One. So, of course he's like a glowing recommendation because he got, that many times over, but one sale paid for my services. So, you guys want to talk about any type of videos you've done for any clients and what kind of successes you've had with them?
Go ahead, Greg.
Oh, well, I just did one for a local paint and body shop, and we're starting to get some, as soon as I put it up, we've already got the videos up and ranking on it. Did some for a local home show here a while back, and that's got some, leads in for some other people. I said, where was I going to go with this? I actually had something that I was going to say on here. Somebody else jump in, and I'll remember what I was going to say here in a minute.
Yeah, sure. Well, I'll jump in. This one, this may require a little bit of censorship, but the type of video that we did kind of went for the shock factor, and we were targeting other medical professionals. For those of you that don't know, I have a wound care background. I was a wound care nurse for about 20 years, worked in hyperbaric medicine, and I had the unique opportunity and position to be able to record and film some procedures, and obviously with the consent of the patients and things of that nature. But our target market weren't patients; they were actually nurses and physicians who subscribe to wound care material. They wanted to They wanted to see more procedures. They wanted to see more photographs of wounds that were being cared for and that type of thing. And we went for the shock factor, and basically, hopefully not grossing your audience out here, I filmed a procedure where there was an auto amputation of a diabetic's foot. So just to show the importance of knowledge in diabetes, as well as what can actually happen to some of these patients that suffer from that type of morbidity. Right. So basically, what happened was we filmed roughly a 15-second procedure that just hit home. It's you see it just snap off like a Slim Jim, and the video got 1 million hits. It was just ridiculous, and it was spread from one person to the next. So the point of the matter was, this is real deal. And what we did is, hey, look, we're learning about this type of stuff. Who better to find out about than the experts in this industry? You need to be educated about this. You need to get certified about this, et cetera, et cetera. And I still see the video passing around in the medical community, left and right. I was in that area. I was the one that did the procedure and know the patient's reaction. So it was very real for me as a clinician at that point. But also for the patient, it was very real. And the other nurses and physicians and other healthcare professionals that deal with this type of thing, and those who are going to experience that type of thing in the industry. So it's a very real epidemic that's happening in the United States, et cetera. And it's not to shift the focus of it, but I think these videos, if you put a story behind it to some degree, that it was very successful. So the client at the time ended up getting an influx of applicants that wanted to learn more about becoming certified in wound care. So the long-reaching and long-affecting touches that these individuals have, you're talking thousands and thousands and thousands of lives that these clinicians will be touching. And obviously, these people that suffer from these morbid issues, they're not the only ones that are suffering. It's their loved ones, and it's friends and family and children and stuff like that are associated. So we try to make a story around the video as opposed to just a 2D version of what's going on. And hey, look, this is an impactual type thing. This is a real deal that's happening out there. This isn't just, oh, by the way, diabetes is just one of those things that are out there. No, this is what happens when you get diabetes and you don't take care of yourself. Your foot falls off. Or it could anyway. But anyway, I digress. Those are the types of things that would go.
Remember that? The commercial with the egg where they break the egg open and they go, this is drugs. This is your brain on drugs. Really, isn't it, just like you said, words on paper is one thing, but when you give a visual, that's a whole nother thing. Chris, I think you said something last week that many people are used to broadcasting instead of telling a story, right?
Exactly. In the old media world, people were taught to do what I call just shout their message out there. It's using a megaphone as a metaphor here, just using that megaphone, holding it up and shouting as loud as you can, and wherever your voice lands, someone might hear that message and respond. Because our new media, internet, mobile, is much more focused and directed, laser targeted. At least you can laser target your efforts. You don't need the big fat megaphone. You need to speak, I even think you need to speak quietly to those people that you're trying to address like they're your friends, instead of broadcasting your message out there. And again, I can really pound this message of, again, I call it the KLT factor. The know, like, and trust factor is the main impetus for purchase. Everybody purchases on emotion in the end. even if they are the kind of people who have to have, 9 reams of paper as data, and I'm one of those people, but in the end, everybody purchases on emotion, and when they know you, like you, and trust you, they're going to buy from you. I wanted to address a little bit what Greg had said. People are afraid to put out there all their knowledge. If I do these videos and tell everybody how to do everything, they're just going to go do it themselves. They're not going to call me. The truth is, they're going to see you as an expert. They're going to see you as someone who knows how to do it. They're going to trust that you can do it for them. And most people don't want to do it themselves. And the really awesome thing is that the one person out of 100, I think, that does it themselves is going to be pleased that you provided accurate information that helped them through a situation. They got the job done. And the next time someone they know needs something similar, they're going to say, hey, I watched this video from Greg Adams, and it was awesome. He helped me change my filter, and I got it done. He can do it for you, or you can go watch his videos and learn how to do it yourself. Most of their friends are not going to want to do it themselves. It's a known fact that most people would rather stick with the stuff they do well. And sometimes in a pinch, they need to do it themselves. They choose to do it themselves. And you're developing a community that loves you, really and truly. And you just keep giving out really good information to people that can help them improve their lives in one way or another. They're going to be happy that they got to do it themselves if that's how they were inclined, or they're going to refer you, or they're going to call you. And again, I guess I'm just hitting this one hard, is most of them are going to call you. Once they feel like they know you. And the video, short of getting right in front of you and talking to you personally, the video is one way for them to start feeling like they know you.
Absolutely. I wanted to go back to your use of the word megaphone. I want to kind of tell people that are watching us now why that strategy no longer works. Because we now have what is called an on-demand society. So think about it. I don't have to watch the TV show at 9 o'clock anymore. I can DVR it, and then I can watch it later. So I don't necessarily have to see any of the commercials or anything that is coming on then. So that's number one. Number two, if you're on Facebook and you're just saying, buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, I don't necessarily have to unfriend you. I can just hide you, because a lot of us are kind of passive, and maybe won't unfriend you, but we can hide you so I never have to see your messages again. So if you think that the best way of marketing your business is just going out there and whatever version of it that you're doing is just buy my stuff, most people are now ignoring you in one way, shape, form, or another. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Well, to kind of go not the opposite, but Drew had a very good point a while ago when he was talking about how it all went viral, how his video went viral. But it doesn't have to. They could do one video and it doesn't have to go viral. And what I was the other side of it is, the other end of the spectrum is, I have a client that I picked up, and this lady is a consultant for a very high-end oil and gas industry. And when she negotiates multi-million-dollar deals for power. We'll take ConocoPhillips, and they want to negotiate oil and gas rights with another company in another company in another country. Well, she goes in and negotiates these contracts. Well, she'd been out of the network for a couple of years, so we helped her set up, and we shot her put her together a website and shot one video of her introducing herself, and she was telling her little story. And I tell you what, just that little video, she got the connections, and we got her up on LinkedIn, and she connected with people she has known for 30 years, and she picked up a lot of business off of that, but she only needs like one job a month, to make her money. She just needs one on it. And just that one little video that we did, her introducing herself back to the community, got her a lot of phone calls. So, and it was just her saying hi, telling her who I was and what she's done and her little bit of her experience. And she just didn't even put her phone number on. She had a contact form because she didn't want a bunch of phone calls. And she got a lot of leads off of it. So it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be really graphic or really crazy or anything, but she's marketed it to her community. There's people out there looking for her specific service. And that's what I want to say to these business owners. Everybody's looking for a specific thing for whatever business you have. If it's financial services, there's a certain market for that. If it's lawn care, there's certain people looking for that. Believe me, there's enough people out there. If you just focus and talk to your customers, like I think everybody else has said here today, not the megaphone deal or not trying to do a sales pitch, just talk to them. Like you were talking to your best friend, and they will call you, and you will make sales off of it. Just like on the one I was telling you about a while ago, me showing somebody how to change these filters out. I mean, I got a bid out for a $25,000 job in San Francisco for a microbrewery. You never know what it's going to turn into. People see these videos and they start to know you and they start asking you questions, and then you never know what it turns into. So I digress on that, but I'm just saying, I just want to reiterate it that you just like we're doing right now, just talk to people, and people, they say people are built like human lie detectors. I mean, today people know when you're not being sincere, and video shows it the best.
So true.
So don't get on there and try to be all flashy and not who you are. Be yourself. You may not think that you're doing it right, but you are, and people will appreciate that, and you'll get more calls in business than really that you know.
Well, Greg, I think you brought up some great points, and I also want to say you have a client or a prospective client you're going to, and you ask them, so who is your target market? And they say, everybody can use my service. What would you say to that?
No, not everybody's your target market. You have to be specific who your customers are. We couldn't handle all the 100% of the business if we had 100% of the business. So they need to sit down and ask specific questions and look at their current clients, who they already have right now. Who's their best customer? If it's a auto repair shop, is it the is it the young family mom or who it is? You really have to get down to find out and look at their list and see who is their best client, because you don't want everybody. I don't want everybody. I can't serve everybody.
Absolutely.
The truth is, if you think that everybody is your, potential customer, I'll think of like a pizza shop. Okay, I can see the pizza guy thinking, well, everybody eats pizza, right? So I'm just marketing to the whole city. It's still better to niche down that market and make specific messages to different segments of the market. You just don't blanket everybody with the same message, because they don't react to those messages the same way. Different segments of your market are looking for and listening for different things. So even if you could make an argument that the entire city eats pizza, I bet you could have a different offer to, the 19 to 30-year-olds than the offer to the retired, the 50, 60, 70-year-olds who may still eat pizza.
Right.
It's important to segment the market. That's all I had to say.
You sound like Forrest Gump with that, right? So, we talked about videos, and now how videos can actually help you get over those 10 touches. Because again, if you are stopping short of the 10 touches, then you're leaving a prospective client on the table for someone else. So if you already have videos out there that are, your frequently asked questions, or, like Drew had the shock factor, which I think was phenomenal, because I'm envisioning how many people watch that video that are diabetic and finally it clicked in their head that they started doing, eating better or exercising or something because they saw that. I mean, I can imagine how many people that video affected. So I wanted to kind of go over some other ways we can kind of get over the touch factor. How are you guys using like autoresponders?
Go ahead, Drew.
Before we move on, can I just add one more thing to the video? Because we have really been talking about video more as a client getting strategy, but video is really good for client retention. Mm-hmm. And an example here is a restaurant owner. Now, I'm actually working with a client trying to set up something similar. She has a catering business, very busy, and the stuff she makes, looks phenomenal. People love it. And she has something that could be just really well presented on video. What my friend has done is taken the restaurant client, and that people love the food at this restaurant. They have some different specialty every week, and the chef is now making a video every day of a specialty item that he's making, and he takes his phone and just turns on the camera, shoots the video, he just kind of sets it somewhere or has someone else holding it while he creates this special thing, and he posts it on his Facebook page every day. Now, there is nothing complicated about that, and it's definitely not professional, and the thing shakes and wiggles sometimes, and it can even be annoying, but he has a following. People love it. Do you think most people make that stuff? No. He gave away his secret. He told them how to make it. Yeah. Most of them just keep coming back. It has to be engaged in remembering this restaurant as a favorite place. You know what Chef Louis does? He does this, he does these videos, and we get to watch him make it. Hey, let's go have lunch there today.
Can you imagine?
It's a great client retention thing.
That's a great strategy to build your slow days. So can you imagine if, he's preparing the special of the day, and literally, even while he's talking, he can, be describing some of the spices he's using or whatever, and then he holds it up and somebody gets a snapshot, and you're like, wow, I'm hungry. I'm going there.
No kidding.
It's an instantaneous reaction, and it isn't like it's something he had to really plan out, like you said, or do some elaborate video production. He's using his cell phone. Great.
Right.
Yep. Yeah. Just being engaged. I think what Chris said right there is dead on. It's being engaged, being in front of, because we get the old numbers like 700 buying messages a day, but I think it's more than that now with everything that's going on with internet, billboards, TV. And so really our customers the attention span is so short right now. So what Chris is saying there, being in front of them, even just, shooting it with it's great shooting it with the phone, because now, it's showing that you're real. I have a service now I'm offering right here that goes right along with what Chris is talking about with the video email. And what's really about this, it actually has an autoresponder, a drip campaign where they can actually, let's say if he wanted to do this, it will actually send out the emails whenever they want to. And even better than that, what it can actually do is, let's say you do it for that slow day you're talking about there, Tina, is that what we know that Tuesday is our slow day. So it goes out that day. Now, when they're watching the video, it'll actually redirect right to a live webcam or a live a page, if you will. So they could really interact and ask questions with the customers, and that way they're even more engaged. So it's all about. I think we're coming full circle now with all this media and everything. When the day is done, we want to deal with people. We don't want to deal with corporate America. We don't want to be put on hold. We don't want somebody to, email us something back. We want to talk to somebody. We want to get what we need to get done and get on with our lives, but we want to do it with somebody we know, like, and trust. So we're trying to find that media, the quickest way to get that taken care of and connect with that person and feel like we've got, a good service, that we didn't get ripped off and that we are being taken care of.
Well, Greg, I think you hit on an important point that I think we should bring up and kind of weigh in. So there are companies out there right now that sell video email marketing. And while it's a great service, doing this through an internet marketer or someone who specializes in it has better advantages. Anybody want to kind of relay any of the advantages between going with one of these packaged things versus why they should have it on their own server or on YouTube or something like that?
Well, I've talked a lot, so I'll let somebody else talk a minute.
Well, one of the main reasons that I tell my clients that they should be doing it themselves is when you use one of these services, you don't get the link juice from it. So like Chris, I think, Chris, you were saying how you can rank a video very quickly where it can be searched. Right. It wouldn't rank for your site. It would actually rank for whoever's hosting it. So that's not going to help you locally. And I know that a lot of times it's some people think because somebody's presented you with this package that it's better to go with that. But you're missing some great advantages when you don't have a YouTube channel yourself, when you don't have your videos ranking for your website. They don't rank for your website. They rank for whatever company or whichever one of those services that you're using. So anybody want to say anything else about video? Because I just wanted to touch on like autoresponders a little bit before we go.
No, that's good.
No, we can move on.
Okay. So, one of the questions or one of the misconceptions that I get all the time is I have an autoresponder and they're talking about an email marketing platform. I'm not going to name any names, but anybody want to talk about the differences between what an autoresponder is, what it isn't, and why a business owner should be using an autoresponder in their business?
We're all looking at each other. I'll go ahead and start. I think that one of the things that I'm running across, Tina, is that business owners know that they should build a list.
Yes.
And so they bought the autoresponder, whichever service they chose, and they started building a list. And now they're telling me I have a list. And I email to them, maybe once a year, maybe not at all ever. I just don't know what to do with it. I know I need to do something with it. I just don't know what to do with it. And, this comes down to your last question, another reason why it might be better to employ someone like us, and that is building a strategy around this thing that you purchased. The autoresponder is technology. It works off there on another server, but you have to know how to use it. You have to set up a strategy for putting it together and how you're going to contact and interact with people in a way that will get them to respond. It's not just about you broadcasting messages out there. It's about getting messages out there where they will interact with you and ultimately purchase. So, go ahead, Tina. I see you have a question.
Well, the main thing that I would like for everyone to know, the difference between an email marketing and an autoresponder is an autoresponder can be set up in advance to do specific things for you, which
Exactly.
And email marketing software normally doesn't do that. So let's say you're with an email marketing company, and what you do, you are building a list because you're saying subscribe to my newsletter. Well, you go in and you create one newsletter and you push the button. But in an autoresponder, and I'm going to go back to Greg's example of having frequently asked question videos, literally you can set up a series that is talking about how to do business or answering questions. So I'll give an example of, I have a client who used to be a professional baseball player, and he does baseball camps now. And so when I met him, the first thing I did was move everything away from his website because it was that brochure style. Everything was just packed on there. And what I did is I said, okay, we're going to just focus on the summer camp for right now. We can go back to the other stuff later. So we just built a landing page, and I asked, if you want to understand what you can learn at this summer camp, put your name and your email address in here. So had him record 4 videos talking about the benefits. He says that, if a client comes to his camp, that they're going to improve their batting, that their concentration and their confidence level is going to go up. So we gave examples of how that would happen, and literally had the video embedded. So each one of these went out once every other day. And once we set it up, we didn't have to do it over again. No matter how many people opted in, it's going to do what it's supposed to do and deliver that email with that video every other day. That's an autoresponder. It takes a little planning. It takes some forethought, like Chris said. It takes some strategy, but yet now it allows you to have more hands than you actually have. Because just think, if everybody had to call this client of mine to hear this, how much he would have been on the phone. But now they're getting the information in a non-invasive way. He wasn't saying, sign up for camp, sign up for camp, sign up for camp. He was saying, this is the benefit. This is how I do this. This is how I teach your kid to have more confidence. This is why it helps them when they go back to school next fall. And tripled his attendance for his summer camps. So I just want people to know that automation, while a lot of people say I don't like it, you can personalize it like you can with the videos.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah.
So anybody else have any successes or anything they want to add about like different kinds of autoresponders? Because I've been just talking about email, but there's the text messaging. There's a lot of different kinds.
Yeah, well,
I think go ahead, Greg.
Go ahead, Drew. No, go ahead, Drew. Go ahead.
Just to echo, really, an autoresponder automates your follow-up process. That's really what the advantage of using a tool like that is. Firstly, it helps you build a list of people that you can relay your message to, and let's be straight. If businesses are in business, it's a business tool to get you to the endpoint where there will be a sale of some sort. We're talking about commerce here. It's a great tool to build your list. And the automation process and the types of information that you can relay and the types of mediums that you can relay that information can be programmed in such a way that people can consume your content in any which way that they choose, whether it be a quick message through text, SMS text message, email, a voicemail, video, you name it. It's or even an invitation to an online webinar or a live event. So for those types of businesses that can host people for, say, let's say a wine tasting festival or something like that, it's sharing your information out to them to invite them offline to do interaction with you in that type of fashion. Personally, when I sign up for an autoresponder, I pretty much click everything. Yeah, I want to know about stuff because I'm an information content junkie. I want to get that stuff. I want to find out immediately whether if I'm on the road, I want to get the text message. All right, I'll check my email. Maybe I might delete it or whatnot, but I want to be notified and be able to consume it whichever way that I really want to. Likewise, the advantage to using that is people can opt out as well. If they don't want to get your message anymore, they can unsubscribe. And there's really two issues with this using an autoresponder is you want to be cool. You want to stack the cool, as the industry says. You want to be able to provide as much information as they are willing to accept, but you also don't want to be, a pain in the ass, so to say, and spam them every other day with a message. You want to be cool about it, get your information out there, but if your audience is tolerant, give them a message every day, or for every other day or every third day, whatever. You have to do a little bit of testing, figure out what works for your audience. Mm-hmm. But by the same token, also give them the option to unsubscribe if it's just information overload and they just, they don't want to hear it anymore. They've got it. They know what your deal is and they'll continue to do business with you whenever they choose. So I'm a big proponent of autoresponders. It's built my business. Greg and I think we're using one of the same things. I see some new technology coming out. I'm always open to seeing new technology and how it benefits the community as well as businesses. But if you're not using an autoresponder, you really should. You should check it out, even to build a moderate list of people that you can communicate with.
Absolutely.
I'd like to comment on what Drew just said about contacting people frequently or, figuring out what your market will tolerate. He's exactly right. Now, you do have to remember, again, this concept about broadcasting your message or sending people messages that constantly say, buy my stuff, buy my stuff, buy my stuff. You can't do that. You have to be delivering content that is of value to them. And then every, 4 or 5 emails or text messages, then you say, by the way, if you like what I've been giving you, maybe you'd like to buy my stuff. You can have a stronger call to action than that, but that's the concept. You want it to feel much more natural. And again, not shouting out there with a megaphone, because they'll delete you or they'll stop opening your messages, even if they don't get off your list. They just won't look at your messages anymore, and so you're shouting to no one.
Absolutely, that's the passive
That's
way.
the general idea. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
Absolutely. And the one good thing I think in this call today, we've talked about how this technology and these strategies can be used in a wide variety of different industries. We've mentioned restaurants, air conditioning, geothermal places, all of these different places that we've talked about. Just think of all the ones we didn't touch on. Drew, you talk about like in the speaking industry, and you talked about wound care. Look at all of these things. So this isn't something that people should go, this isn't going to work in my industry, because it's working in so many. And I guarantee you, if you go and start looking, you will probably find that someone has started using it in your industry. So what would you say to that? What would each one of you guys say? And Drew, you're beside me now, so we'll start with you. But what would you say to someone who says, this isn't going to work in my industry?
I would say I beg to differ. The industry statistics show that there's great responses from this, utilizing this technology and using it effectively. Webinars and autoresponders, you're building a list. If your competitors have done it, then so should you. Just because somebody else is doing it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to do it. I would recommend it because it's working. People have made a lot of money from this. They've built massive audiences. we'll just take almost everybody has heard of Justin Bieber. I mean, this kid posted a YouTube video, and now he makes multiple seven figures. I mean, he's a kid. And some would argue that he's a no talented kid, and some would say that no, he really is a talented kid. But using the medium and using it effectively, there is an audience for your business. There is an audience for your product. Micro niches to grand niches that are out there. You start using them effectively. Find an industry expert, such as Tina or Chris, Greg, myself. There's others that are out there that can certainly show you how to leverage it to your best advantage. Tweak it, do some A/B testing, figure out what works, what doesn't work, and start building. It always takes one Lego at a time to start building something. You got to start somewhere, and I highly recommend using these. I transitioned from a career in wound care to a mobile app developer, social media person, and have built a very, very comfortable and nice business for myself using this technology.
Yeah. Great. Chris?
Tina, all I keep thinking of is the jury is no longer out. Like Drew said, there are a lot of statistical evidence, and I told you I'm the kind of person who likes the stack of paper and the statistics and all of that, so I look at it. And how much better is it to be, like I said last week, in front of the wave? If you're surfing, you're behind the wave, you lost it. Everyone else caught it, and you didn't. If you're in front of the wave, even if everyone in your industry is not doing it yet, the evidence is there in a lot of other industries that it's working well. And I can almost guarantee that an expert at new media strategies can help you design a strategy that will work in your industry. And you can be the first. You could be the pioneer that everybody follows after. You don't have to be the caboose. Definitely when you're leading the pack, things are better for you. Sometimes they're a little tougher to start with while you're figuring things out. But the simple fact is that the statistics show that this stuff works, and it can work, like you said, for everyone. As you were listing through the different industries we just talked about today, I'm amazed at the variety. We are not just talking about even just brick and mortar small businesses. We're talking about all kinds of different areas, and it's just effective. Okay, I'm beating the dead horse. We'll let Greg talk.
Okay, well, Chris likes all the technical stuff there. I'm a man. I like this visual stuff. So I'll give you a really good case in point. I'm sure some of you guys might even know this guy, but we got him here in one of our groups, and a genius at Weeder's Digest. You guys know this guy? Weeder's Digest. And what he does, he started out in this business is taking care of people's ponds. You think, well, that's not very much, well, how can you do that? But he has a whole list of services and a whole list of products that there is a whole big following on people that just have ponds in their yards and all this different things that they like to put in it, and the fish and all the accessories. And he has a cult following of business, and I know he makes tons of money just on that particular niche. The riches are in the niches, and he's got that. Or I would have never dreamed something like that. On ponds. Give me a break. But he's doing very, very well with it. So the case in point is that, people, no matter what business you're in, there is a following, and people will, if you have a good service and have a good product and be genuine with the people and just, be right up front with them and show them what you have, then you'll have plenty of business. So one other thing was that we had another guy that I saw in there. He made a ton of money off of potato guns. How to make a potato gun. I don't know if any of you guys ever heard of a potato gun, but basically it's a It's a piece of PVC pipe and hairspray and shoot potatoes with it. I saw it years ago. Got a baby one, and it had a blast with it. But there's an internet marketer in this group right here is worth several $1 million just 'cause that's how he got his start. Russell Brunson. That's how he got started. How to make a potato gun. It's crazy. Real short story. I'll tell it really quick. Is that he was a wrestler in college in Boise, Idaho. Him and the other guy was the only two guys on the team that were married. The rest of the team wanted to go party in Vegas. They stayed home. His buddy says, "What do you want to do?" He goes, the guy says, "Make a potato gun." He goes, "What's a potato gun?" So he showed him what a potato gun was. They made it. They went back to class Monday for the class. He was studying C++. He goes, "Oh crap! I'm gonna fail this class. I don't know what I'm gonna do." He was bored to death. He did a search about how many people were searching for how to make a potato gun. He put a product together, and they sold hundreds of thousands of dollars on just how to make a potato gun. And that's how he got started. Now he's got .comsecrets.com, and he makes millions of dollars off all of his different stuff. But the point is that you can take any product or service that you have out there, how little you think it is, and make tons of money on it. And I think it's easier now than it ever has before. The media is pumped up, how bad everything is out there, but the walls with the services that we provide nowadays, it's easier now to connect more than ever with your customer base. Mm-hmm. It's with all this different media, with Facebook, with this video marketing, with social media marketing. If you find your local expert that knows how to put this stuff together, then you can have as many customers really as that you need.
Yep. I mean, wow, a potato gun. I mean, you can't get any far out than that. That's all I can say. But I think, we've given a lot of tips in this call that if someone just took one, and I think the main one that everybody should try is just turn your cell phone camera on yourself and shoot a video. If you've never done that, just do it now. Don't worry about the lighting and all of that kind of stuff. Just do it now. And now you have something that people can begin to know, like, trust. What did you call it, Chris?
The KLT factor.
The KLT factor. That way you're beginning to build that even online. So even if you're in a place like I am in Delaware, you're connecting to Pennsylvania, California, Texas, at the drop of a dime. So it's here, it's available to you, and I think, you should use it. Is there any closing words that any one of you guys want to say?
I think you've summed it up.
Do it.
Oh.
Just do it.
There you go.
Sound like Nike.
The magic. Yeah.
Okay.
I saw this internet meme going around, and it's perfect. There's this little circle, and I don't know, I'll try to do it on the screen here, but there's a little circle up here, and then there's one right down here. And the large one represents your comfort zone. The one that's up here in this corner is where the magic happens. So step out of your comfort zone, start doing some of these things with your mobile device, an autoresponder, and see what happens. I think you'll see that the magic happens. You'll start to get a following. They'll start to connect with you. All of us have friends, and it's just about doing that, creating a following of people, friends that will support you. From that list, they'll tell other people, and the magic really does happen outside your comfort zone. Just implement one or two of the strategies that my colleagues here have talked about. And obviously we've got everybody from the video expert to the technical and conversational. Get out there and just try some of these things, and you'll be surprised who responds to it and who starts to follow you.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I want to thank you guys once again for joining me. I think we've given some great information today. And again, it's a lot of stuff that someone can just implement right now. So the main thing is you have to take action. Just do it. So we will see you guys again next week.
All righty.
All right. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thanks, Tina.
Bye.